think it was in the early evening, maybe. We took off in daylight and arrived in the darkness, so it would have been early evening in October, and about 350 kilometres northeast of Melbourne, on the farm. He was riding his motorbike, and I think he's fallen under the wheels of a four-wheel drive, and the four-wheel drive wheels have actually run over his torso, and he suffered critical injuries to his chest and his abdomen, and he as a result, he almost bled to death. But when I arrived, he had a failing blood pressure, and his chest and his lungs were so severely damaged that they just weren't oxygenating his blood anymore. So we gave him some blood. We placed him in an induced coma, which we had some problems with along the way.
What sort of problem?
Given his injuries, it's just that inability for his damaged lungs to get the oxygen in. We were starting from behind, and the concentration of oxygen in his blood did drop during the procedure, and he continued to have this problem with the bleeding, and we gave him the blood, and he became the first child in Victoria to undergo a procedure with paramedics where we do what we call a finger thoracostomy. It's a procedure where we make an incision in the chest, stick our finger into the chest, and we let the build-up of gas, or in his case, blood, escape. When you have that build-up of pressure in the chest, that collapses the lung, and you have that inability to ventilate. But in his case, when we made that incision, 800 mils of blood came out, and that's a substantial amount when you're a 10-year-old boy. And he went on to receive, we carry 4 units of O negative, which is the universal donor type blood. We gave him our entire supply of blood on the way back, and we replaced his entire circulating volume throughout ambulance care. So for him to survive with those injuries is a testament to the team of people, and it's also a testament to the system. But it's a remarkable story of the resilience of a child. I remember making that incision and taking my finger out and seeing the blood came out, and it came out under enormous pressure. And I just had that absolute, just horrendous feeling that this was going to be the first child in Victoria to undergo the procedure, but quite possibly could have bled to death during the procedure as well. I didn't think he would survive. So I think in this case there was 3 moments in his care, in ambulance care, where I felt he was going to die.
Really? Well, that's one. When were the others?
There was a time when we were placing him getting ready to place him in the induced coma, that his heart rate dropped down to 17.
What should it be in that circumstance with a child that age?
Well, given that he had such severe trauma, he started with a heart rate of 130, and that's what you would expect.
Yeah.
But he was compensating for that blood loss. So you reach a level of compensation and then you decompensate, which was what was happening with him. And that was a moment, and we placed the breathing tube into his lungs, and his lungs were also bruised on the inside. So it's perhaps hard to explain, but he had the collapsed lung on one side, but the severe bruising to his lungs was such that blood then came out of the breathing tube. So certainly another fright for us at the scene, and he was a little handful.
Did you sort of ring up a few days later to see how things were going?
I think that's an interesting point. I didn't, because I didn't want to know.
Really?
I had a friend ring me and tell me that he'd made contact on my behalf, and we have a good relationship with one of the trauma managers there, and the prognosis was positive. I felt the balance would have been that he would not have survived.
And you didn't want to know?
I didn't want to know. But, I'm looking at the photo that you've got on your desk there, and it's what better job satisfaction.
It's on our website. Little Jordan with his helmet on and thumbs up, sitting at the helicopter with the crew that saved him.